Hello and welcome to the Carrier Conversations podcast. I'm Andy Barr, founder of Barr Transportation, and we are so glad you decided to tune in today. At Barr Transportation, we are the premier transportation brokerage that focuses on over-the-road or LTL food and beverage transportation, operating in Canada and US. Now, whether you are a company driver, owner-operator, or an owner of a small, medium, or mega-sized carrier, this podcast is for you. We'll cover how to run a profitable carrier, how to recruit the best drivers and keep them, and so much more. Lastly, at the end of each episode, make sure to stick around because we'll share with you how you can apply to be on the podcast yourself. Interviews are about 15 minutes long, and I'll leave you with my favorite quote: preparation plus opportunity equals success. That's all for now. Keep those wheels turning, and I'll see you on the inside. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We are doing a recording today that's a little bit different. We're actually going to be doing a recording that will be applicable to both of our podcasts, both the Food and Beverage Leaders and the Carrier Conversations. We are blessed today to be joined by Kelli Calabrese. Kelli, thank you for joining us.
Andy, I'm so happy to be here. You're one of my most favorite people on the planet. Of course I want to be here.
Well, the feeling is mutual, so thank you. We are just, super excited to have you because you're a rock star. Okay, so you're a speaker, you got books out, you're a health coach, you're a divorce coach, you're like a superpower. Like there's superfoods, well, there's super people. That's Kelli Calabrese. So thanks again, Kelli, for joining.
Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, this is so fun. I love talking to this population. My parents were also blue collar workers, grew up in New York, and my brother's in construction. And so we're very much a blue collar family. Even my background as a personal trainer, it's, blue collar stuff, but we're what makes the country happen.
Well, awesome. We'll dive right into it. So we'll kind of go into three parts: exercises, nutrition, and mental health, like the mental side of things. So the first thing is exercises. So whether you are a driver on the road driving, thousands of miles a week, or someone who is at home, right? It's always, of course, important to stay healthy. And a lot of us are working from home remotely on a continual basis now, or at least part-time. And of course, the drivers are, completely when they're on the road. So let's do the carriers first. So if you're a carrier, right, and you're driving and, they drive, 10, 11 hours a day. So when you're not driving, what type of exercises, tips, what do you suggest as far as just staying active?
Great question. Yes, we want to keep the drivers more energized, more focused, more healthy. I mean, I did look up some of the statistics for drivers, and to be honest, they are not great. So I'm so thankful that we're having this conversation because we want them to stay healthy and fit and maintain a good body weight. So exercise is one of the best things that you can do. So we do want you to get active. We understand you're sitting a lot. So what are some of the things you can do? Even during your long driving day, you're taking breaks at some point, even if it's just to fuel. So that's a great time to get your heart rate up, get the blood flowing, get the muscles stretched out a little bit. So you might feel a little silly doing it, but who cares? You're never going to see these people again. Right. So something like doing walking lunges around the perimeter of your truck, your heart rate will get up. That's one of the number one exercises that uses the most amount of muscle groups. So do a lap around one direction, then do a set of push-ups on your, you can do them on the truck. You don't need to get on the ground. You can do them on the, those things you step on. What are they when you get up into the truck? You can do
like
some
a lift gate or
Okay.
You
can do some push-ups on those. You can do some dips on those. And then I challenge you to do a second set of lunges the other direction around the truck, and then come back and you can do some dips off of that same part right there on the truck. And you will get your entire body just flowing with blood. Your muscles will be activated. You will be much more energized when you get back in the truck. And that's something you could do every time that you get to a rest stop. If you can carry some bands in your truck, they don't take up a lot of space. Yeah, they don't cost a lot of money, but You can do some rows, you can do some chest presses, bicep curls, some tricep extensions,
Not
some
expensive.
squats. Not expensive. Get one, get maybe a medium set to start with. And then as you get stronger, get a heavy set, keep that in the truck at all times. And even when you're feeling a little fatigued as you're driving, you can just, pull over, hop out, get your arms pumping, get your legs going. Those bands will definitely increase your alertness without a doubt. So
That's excellent.
those are something. And then a lot of these truck stops, they do have a nature trail. Not all of them, but there are definitely a lot that get out in nature, get under the trees, go get, get on the ground and the dirt, walk around, not laying in the dirt, but just there's something about being on soil and being under trees and being in nature that just invigorates you and gives you life. If there's any water you can get around, that always helps to really energize you. So look for the rest stops that are a little more rural, that have some nature trails around them.
Okay. So that's good. So bands, lunges, squats, dips. And like you said, you just need a band or maybe some free weights, nothing crazy. Just stay active. And there's tons of apps, Pinterest, all these, for actually ideas and exercises. That's really good. Let's say, okay, you're a salesperson for a Fortune 500 company for, as far as the food and beverage industry. How do you stay active at home when you're, going through carpal tunnel and typing away?
Yeah, those are all great questions. So one of the things is at home to do it first thing in the morning. So before you even sit at your desk, set your day up for success by getting your body moving. Even if it's some walking and some stretching, you're going to sit in your chair like a champion and really more alert and focused for your day. And then you can set a timer, even if it's for 5 minutes every hour. Go out to your mailbox, go around the block, do something to get your heart rate, even for 5 minutes. Do some jumping jacks, do some jump rope, things like that, even small throughout the day. You can do some stretches, bend your fingers back to help with the carpal tunnel. Those things all definitely help, but getting in a real workout is important too. There's things you can do at your desk or at, behind the wheel, even just breathing. So doing some breath work that energizes you. So they're actually shorter breaths, like a quick inhale and 2 short exhales. So it's like a
So like double the duration on the exhale.
Yes. So that's one that gives you energy versus a lot of the other breath work we do is kind of for quieting and calming and meditation. But if you're driving and you're tired or you're at your desk and you can do that for a minute, not more because you'll hyperventilate, but for about a minute. We don't want that. But you'll feel like, okay, yeah, like my chest is expanded and my energy is up, and it can keep you from, falling asleep behind the wheel. But it can also, like if you're getting on a call and you want to be alert, just that little bit of breath work can help too. And then any chance you get to walk, be in nature, get your heart rate up. If you're home and you've got a home gym or any equipment you can use, plan to do that really almost every day of the week. But even if you started with 3 days a week doing something, whether you're using an app or you print something out, stretches you can do every couple hours, you're going to feel like an incredible athlete sitting at your desk.
Awesome. Okay. So breathing exercises, getting that exercise in the beginning of the day, because as we all know, once we sit down, bullets start flying as far as emails and phone calls, and it's easy to be like, I'm too busy to go outside. So yeah, that's really, really good.
Even the neck exercises, as we sit here and our neck gets stiff sometimes, and you can safely do those, while driving, as long as you're obviously safety first, but, just some side to side, just stretching out your neck, anything to increase circulation, reduce tension and stiffness. Because as you're driving, sometimes your shoulders come up. You want to relax the shoulders and just do a couple of neck stretches. That helps too.
Okay, great. And as far as dietary, everyone's big on hydration and water. Is there any sort of like app you suggest following, or go plant-based, vegan, superfoods? What's the golden ticket there?
So many good options. Yeah, I mean, if I had to give it to you in a word, since we don't have a lot of time here, I would say Mediterranean, if that kind of gives people a snapshot of a diet that has lean proteins and good grains and is filled with beautiful vegetables and low sugar fruits like berries, and then healthy fats like avocados and almonds. So obviously real foods, those are all superfoods, staying away from anything processed. Water is definitely the beverage of choice. You could almost eliminate every other beverage beverage besides water. And that would be great for your body. Just doing that alone, people see a difference in weight loss, in heart health, cellular health, and even releasing fat because you're getting all of your cells communicating and working better, detoxing. Intermittent fasting is another thing that's really helpful for longevity, for weight loss, for metabolism boosting, for regulating hormones, for something they call autophagy, which is a fancy word for saying getting rid of dead cells in your body that just don't get eliminated. So it basically means shortening your feeding window and increasing your fasting window. So it might mean pushing your breakfast an hour or 2 hours and then having a cutoff at night, say of 7 p.m.
Now, Kelly, what if I'm a truck driver and I don't have, Whole Foods, that I can just pull into and get the Mediterranean salad? How do I eat healthy on the road?
Yeah, a couple options. So one is some of those trucks do have little refrigerators in there. So you might be able to bring some things for a day or two or stop someplace that has something. But at the truck stops, sometimes you can get grilled chicken. I see those wraps there, like a chicken Caesar wrap. I've seen turkey wraps that are a little bit lighter than grabbing, the pizza or the hot dog or the fried thing. So there are healthy alternatives. You can always get fruit at a truck stop. You can get nuts. There's usually oatmeal if it's breakfast. So you don't need to go for the big, heavy, fattening, fried, high carb options. And like I said, if you plan ahead of time before you get on the road, you can bring some things that are not perishable, that are healthy snacks. Even some of the jerkies are good protein that are, some of the more natural ones to get some protein in. And then when you can, stop someplace a little bit with healthier options than the truck stops. But there's always something you can find at a truck stop. Just start making a better choice.
So what I hear you saying is basically plan, like
Yes.
plan ahead, plan like, yes, there's a Wendy's, yes, there's a McDonald's, yes, there's a Burger King, but I mean, if you just say, okay, I'm going to be on the road for 2 weeks, you can put some avocados in the fridge. Most of the trucks have mini fridges in them. You can put some nuts. Obviously those don't have to be refrigerated. You can put some lunch meat in there. You can just, yogurt. Yeah. So a little milk to go with your oatmeal. It just takes being intentional, right?
Exactly. Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly right. You do need to plan. Otherwise, even if you find yourself at the drive-thru, a lot of them do have salads with grilled chicken. I know Chick-fil-A does. Wendy's has salad options. So there's always an option and your body will thank you for it. It's a matter of a decision, really.
Yeah. And as far as water goes, you don't have to have just plain water. You can have sparkling. You can have flavored. Like I bought Amazon Prime delivered some lemon water. It's basically water with a little bit of lemon juice, and it's
really
great.
Cleansing. It's good.
Yeah.
No, the lemon's good.
Yeah. So okay, so we got the workouts, we've got the food. Now, how about mental health? So we're isolated in a lot of ways right now, and we're getting better, right? We're slowly coming back to work, and whether you want to or not, and that's a whole other topic. But it's basically just how do you stay connected? Because we're all busy, whether you're at home and you're working, and it's good that you can work from anywhere, but it's also there's a con because then you're reachable any time of the day,
Right.
And it's not that you have to answer a 7:30 p.m. email, but what do? We answer. So, so how do you set boundaries, number one? And logistics, there's not a lot of boundaries. So that's just kind of already out the door. But more of I guess more socially, right? How do you stay, if you're a truck driver, you're be gone from your family, from your friends for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes more. How do you stay engaged?
Yeah, that is a great question. Loneliness and isolation is definitely an issue right now, even pre-COVID. I've been working from home for 22 years. So this is not new for me. So I've kind of mastered this. And you do need to be intentional, just like with your food, just like with your exercise, about staying connected and not being isolated. So one thing is, if you're driving, you can probably talk to friends, not FaceTime. Again, we need to be healthy, but if they're on Bluetooth and you can stay connected with friends that way, then that's awesome. You can sort of find your tribe with groups, whether it's a meetup group or Facebook group. A lot of that is all happening remotely. So whatever your hobby is, you can find a group in that hobby and do that. You can listen to, we know laughter is medicine. It is great for mental health. So again, if you're driving, put on some comedy and just
That's really
laugh.
good.
I try and listen for about 20 minutes every night before I, power off my technology just to watch some comedy. There's a channel called Dry Bar, which is a cleaner comedy, which I like. And the dog looks at me like I'm crazy. I mean, I'm just cracking up laughing. So that's great for mental health. And then when you do talk to your friends, you're in a good mood because you've been laughing for the last 20 minutes. You can listen to affirmations. So there's so many of them on YouTube, things that just feed your mind, powerful things like I am strong, I am healthy, I am powerful, I am safe, just whatever ones that you find, whether you record your own or you remember them and say them to yourself or you play them, you're just setting yourself up for good mental health. Have a really good upbeat playlist if you're driving too. If you want to listen to something positive and motivational, there's so much on YouTube. I think Andy and I are fans of, for example, Joe Osteen. That is just, you can't help but feel positive after you listen to that. And then connecting with friends, there's things you can do virtually when you're not working or driving, whether it's virtual game night, virtual, you can learn a language together. You can do a workbook together. You can do just about anything. You can watch programs together. You can eat meals together. There's actually people on Instagram that they have a scheduled meal time and people just tune in to eat with them because people don't want to eat alone. So call your family and friends and just, have a set time whenever possible to say, hey, 7:00, I'm going to eat, you get your food, let's FaceTime. And at least you have that conversation. And one of the things I always did in my family was what's something good from the day? What's a challenge you have from the day? And then what's something you're excited about for tomorrow or the future. So just
can you say that one more time?
Yeah. So what was good today? What was a challenge from today? And then what's something you're excited about for tomorrow or sometime in the future? That's good. Just is an easy way to start a conversation at dinner or anytime you're talking to friends. So it's not the same old thing, but it's, okay, well, what was challenging today? Or what am I excited about tomorrow? Gratitude is always a great thing to do, whether you do it with someone or do it on your own and to record that. It really becomes a superpower when you go throughout your day looking for things to be grateful for. That just, it changes your mental health. It boosts your immunity. I mean, there's so much behind gratitude. It truly is a superpower. Yeah. And as far as boundaries, you really do have to stick with them. Obviously, if there's a work emergency, that's something, but the world has never come at us faster than right now, and it's not going to stop. So unless we have a hard stop on turning off technology, I'm not going to take a work call, or I'm going to be 100% with my family, even virtually for the next hour, then, commit to that and be fully present.
And that actually helps with this is more for if you're in the office, but if you say, okay, from 2 to 3, I'm not going to look at email. I'm just going to time block and, make calls to my customers. And that's the only thing you do. You turn the cell phone off, it's the time blocking, it's the focus, because I think it takes 15 to 20 minutes to refocus yourself after you switch from one thing to the next. So you feel like you're being productive because you're bouncing around like a ping pong ball, but really you're slowing yourself down.
Yes. Multi-moding is way more effective. So multi-moding means when you get in that mode, like if you're doing emails, do all the emails. If you're making the sales calls, do all the sales calls. It is so inefficient to stop and then try and restart. You're losing at least 15 to 20 minutes to get back where you were before. So, turn off the notifications, don't do the texting or messaging or whatever. Just keep doing the thing until it's done or until you have a stopping point when you need to switch gears.
Perfect. And then if you're on the road, right, like you said, FaceTime with family, FaceTime with friends. Let's say you're going to be home in 2 days. Well, plan to go out with your friends the next day. Us guys aren't big planners, right? So you gotta kind of do some legwork there. But it's just part of life. Again, going back to being intentional.
Yes, and when you're on the road, if it's possible to really make sure you're getting good sleep in too, that's a huge factor in your health, your weight, your hormones, your aging, your alertness during the day while you're driving. And even if you're working from home, getting that good quality sleep is another important component.
Okay. So Kelli, as we wrap up here, any final thoughts on general wellness, or how about some goals for 2022? You and I are always big on goals, and what's a 2022 goal for Kelli?
That's a good question. One of my fun goals this year is national travel. So maybe they can write me and share some good tips with me, since some of the guys on the road have been everywhere. I have not been everywhere yet in the United States. So that's a goal this year, to do more national travel.
Okay. Very good. So Carriers, you hear it. If you're on the road, you find a good restaurant, find a good city you like, let us know, and maybe Kelli will stop by. So
Absolutely.
And let's say individuals are thinking about, okay, you know what, I like what I hear, I want to connect. Maybe I am willing to invest in my health and learn more about a health coach, and they want to learn more. Kelli, what's a good way to just contact you?
Well, they can definitely email me. I answer every single email, and I would love to hear from them. I truly do want everyone out there to be healthy. We don't want people getting sick or ill or having accidents. So Kelli with an I at KelliCalabrese.com is my email. They can go to my website. It's KelliCalabrese.com, and it's the same on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the places.
All right, perfect. There you have it. Kelli, thank you again. Much gratitude, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Andy. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye. Alrighty, thank you for listening to today's Carrier Conversations podcast, brought to you by Bar Transportation. Now, if you are a successful driver, dispatcher, or owner of a trucking company, and you believe you have some secret sauce to share and enjoy helping others grow, then look no further. Simply go to bartrans.com, click on Carriers, and you'll find the Carrier podcast. Now, as you know, topics range the whole spectrum, from maintenance to fuel to driver recruiting to something I'm not thinking of. Just absolutely tons to talk about, and we'll never run out of topics. Lastly, if you enjoyed the podcast, please like, subscribe, tweet, reshare it with everyone you know. Tell other drivers at truck stops about it. Spread the word. As you know, collectively, we can learn a lot together, right? Knowledge is power. That's all for now. Keep those wheels turning. Stay safe, and remember, preparation plus opportunity equals success.